Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, PechPong, where I talk about matches that I play and things that I do to try to get better. And lately I've been doing some information videos about tips and things that people don't normally tell you. First off, I wanted to say that I want to thank everyone for their support. Everyone seemed to really like the video that I put out last, and I'd like to thank everyone for the new ideas that they shared. So yeah, I will definitely keep the videos coming. And feel free to keep leaving ideas and things like that. That's really helpful, and I am glad to share what I know. And then second is I want to thank the Samson Dubina Table Tennis Academy for letting me film some of the videos that you'll see in this video at his academy. So yeah, big thanks for that. Today's video topic will be about the backhand. And these are things that I have felt over the years I've really struggled with. And I either A, had a coach tell me what the solution was, or B, I had to figure it out by myself. So yeah, these are things that I think I wish someone would have told me early on, and they would have really helped. So let's get started. I'll just start the video, and we'll go from there. Our first topic is the mid-distance backhand loop. And for the longest time, I struggled with the mid-distance backhand loop. I was pretty good at the short or the close to the table because all the balls are on the rise, and I was pretty good at going from far because all the balls were on the fall. Yeah, it's this number 2 circle that's the hardest, because in the number 2 circle you have some balls that are on the rise, some balls that are on the fall, and some balls that are at the top. And these are all because the ball bounces in a different place on the table when the person blocks to you. And these problem was for 2 reasons. I would have too big of a backswing, and the number 2 is that my racket angle was too closed. And I'll talk more about the racket angle later. But the real fix for me was that my angle or my backswing was too big. So the simple solution for me was to simply shorten my backswing to feel exactly the same as I did when I was close to the table. My backswing won't be any longer. And that really helped even out the timings, because some of them were late, early, some of them were at the top of the balance, and not having a too big of a backswing really helped me to catch all those timings and not really have to worry about that. And so in this video here, you can see that my backswing length is the same for those two. All right, next one is same arm structure for the backhand block and backhand topspin. And I had a coach, I was blocking at a camp, and he came up to me and he saw that I was blocking with my racket like way out in front. And he said, "Seth, how are you supposed to turn a defensive point when you're blocking into an offensive if your stroke is stuck in the way forward position? You can't get into a nice counter looping motion if you're all the way stuck forward. You can only stay forward." So definitely a bad thing. Here you can see a video of me blocking, and I'm trying to keep the block structure the same as a counter loop or backhand loop structure. So if you do drills and things like that, just try to keep your backhand block, loop, and other thing, counter loop, the same with the same structure. All right, short stroke for heavy topspin and kick serve. So for the longest time, I would always hit edges when my opponents would give me really heavy topspin serves. And that was because I had too long of a backswing, and I'd go for this really big shot that really wasn't quite reliable or safe. And so I'm sure we've all been there, yeah, and it's no fun. So the cool thing that I figured out was that if there is topspin on the ball, we don't need to try to add topspin or even add speed. All we need to do is redirect that speed or that topspin on the table. So the idea is to have a shorter stroke and not to get carried away and try to hit a big swing. And so you can see here in this video, I just catch it right in front of me. I don't take too long of a swing. I use the opponent's topspin, and I just redirect it on the table, and it's very safe, very reliable, and I know for a fact that a lot of good players use this. Here's a video of Fan Zhendong versus Anton Schellberg. And you can see how Fan Zhendong just kind of keeps that racket nice and in front. Okay, next topic. Keeping the body forward on the backhand underspin loop. So you can see here's a picture of me leaning backwards. And when you lean backwards when you're looping underspins with your backhand, you're doing two things. One is changing the angle of the racket because you're leaning backwards. So that's going to cause a lot of mishits. And two, you're taking energy off the ball. And actually, three is you're putting yourself in a bad position for the next ball because you're falling backwards. So I had a coach tell me to just stay forward and take the ball nicely off the bounce and keep the chest down. And that really helped a lot because I started getting a lot better contacts and I started being ready for the next ball when the player blocked it. And it really helped. So try to do that. And this last one is a pretty heavy topic. It's pretty in-depth. So it's the ability to change or to open the backhand angle. And I think it's really important because most people play their table tennis with too close of an angle and they can never kind of get out of changing that angle to a more open angle. And I think it's more advantageous to have an open angle because you can always close it more. It's harder to go from closed to open when you're doing a backhand stroke. Here's a video of me doing some closed angle flipping versus open angle flipping. As you can see, the margin over the net is pretty good. And it's a lot more reliable and safe, and it really helps you loop those underspins when it comes. So the idea is to be able to adjust your angle for different balls. And primarily, I feel like I just keep my angle open most of the time because it lets me adjust for the heavy unders. It also lets me receive kick serves. It also lets me flip with a lot more margin over the net. So I've really tried my hardest to open my angle because it seems to really help with my consistency, and I don't really have to worry about the net so much. Another thing is also from the mid distance, what I talked about earlier in the video, was that if you have a closed angle and you're far from the table like Fan Zhendong is here, you have to put a lot of upward stroke on your loops in order to get over the net. Whereas if you're able to open the angle, you can really focus on driving forward. And it really helps the timing because if you're trying to loop up on a topspin, it's hard to get around the ball. So definitely having that open angle is very advantageous when you play this sport because it lets you hit a larger variety of balls. All right, that is it. That is all the information on the backhand that I have for you today. I hope this information has been new. If it hasn't, I hope some things here were new for you, and if not all. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you like this video and if you want to see different things. I think I'll do serve return next. Someone in the comments asked me to do a serve return video. So yeah, thanks guys, and I will come back to you with another video soon about serve return. And I hope this was helpful. See ya.